Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the multiverse, wherever you might be listening, on this Earth, some parallel Earth, or somewhere that has the videos, but not the comics that go with this. Welcome to day one of my tournament, of the Defenders versus Defenders. So, this is now part two of this week, of this day. So originally, last video, we talked about Luke Cage and his powers and all that. Now, today we're going to be talking, or this time we're going to be talking about him. The Soldier Supreme, or as he's known, is Steven Rogers. So, a lot of this is going to be kind of a combination of two different characters rolled into one. And we obviously can talk about all the powers and all that between the two guys, but really that's going to take forever. So I'm just going to do a full list for you, and if you need to read on them, you can determine from there. So we're going to talk about the Soldier Supreme. We're going to talk about Steven Rogers himself. And so sit back, relax, and just put this on. Listen to me talk. That's what most people do, I find. And let's head into Warp World, and meet the man we know as the Soldier Supreme, Steven Rogers. So it's not spelled like his traditional name. It's taking Stephen Strange's first name, combining it with Rogers' last name. So let's head to Earth 616 and Warp World. And so after this, I'm going to ask you to watch part one, or after this, day two, join me for Jessica Jones, join me for Weapon Hex. And then I'll have everything up on my Instagram, TikTok. You guys can vote. You can tell me what you want and tell me who's moving forward for the next 3-4 days. And then we'll determine, and then I'll do a video next week during the Daredevil video. And I'll tell you who won this round. And with that, welcome to Ultimate Mayhem and the Steven Rogers edition, or the Soldier Supreme edition. So it's going to start similar as to, I did a video a while back, I'm also going to include that in the description, of the Ghost Panther. It kind of starts the same way. After Gamora had gathered the Infinity Stones together, she took all the souls from across the multiverse, so across the universe, and put them into the Soul Stone. So she's got all the Ghost Stones, her middle one's the Soul Stone. She then took the world, folded it over, merging every soul within there into one being. So if, say, they're two separate people, now they're one. And when she did this, she accidentally created Warp World, where all history had been rewritten and adapted to the new fused souls within. So in the process of all this, so we're just gonna hold this for a second. In the process of this, Doctor Strange and Captain America had become one, and they created the Soldier Supreme in the process. Soldier Supreme. Also, if you really want to read this, the comic is called The 2-in-1, and I will put also a link for that as well. I do recommend picking it up, because Warp World is one of these ones where it's really, you could take anybody. Like, I'll give you a good example for next week. Iron Fist and Daredevil are known as Devil Fist. So you got all the powers of Iron Fist, you got all the powers of Daredevil, and they're rolled into one. So we're going to go back now to World War II, where obviously we meet Captain Rogers for the first time. During World War II, when the war was picking up, Steven Rogers had volunteered himself for an experiment in the U.S. Army which would turn him into a super soldier. Morgan Erskine had presented herself as a scientist who created the serum. So she created the serum that created... so think of it like Abraham Erskine, the guy who created the super soldier serum originally, but this one is a little bit different. We'll talk about it. Little did they know that it in fact was an experiment to cover up a ritual which would increase Steven's strength, physicality, but also give him access to powerful magic. Shortly after the experiment had been successful, Erskine was shot by a spy, and the identity and why she was there was discovered by the military. While they were displeased with the way she had done it, Erskine conducted her business, and the military was pleased with the results she had produced. Steven was then thrusted into the war under the guise of the Soldier Supreme. So, again, we get Soldier Supreme. It's quite actually fascinating. He led his specialized team of Howling Commandos Hogarth. So, again, there's a lot of Doctor Strange lore, Doctor, and Captain America lore in here, and I'm just not going to be able to have time to cover it. And I mean, and again, we can do this on a separate video where we can talk about Doctor Strange. I think May will talk about Doctor Strange because of the movie coming out and whatnot. And so his team consisted of basically two other people. Dum Dum Fury, which is a combination of Dum Dum Dugan and Nick Fury, as well as Bucky Wong. If you don't know who that is, the combination there is, it is the combination of the Winter Soldier and Wong. Obviously, they're playing in a little bit to the Avenger theory and also the Supreme Soldier thing, or Supreme Sorcerer thing. While the three had won many battles, Rogers could never lose his tension. Needs to get laid. That'll lose his tension. During one of their assignments, the mortar fire had thrown the team off their game and took Bucky out in the process. The Soldier Supreme used his magic to preserve They used the magic he had to preserve Wong as a ghost, rebranding him as the ghostly Winter Soldier. So basically, Bucky died, but Steve's like, yeah, I'm not having that. Brings him back as a ghost. And uses him as the Winter Soldier. Rogers would then use his magic to heal his team's fatal injuries and keep them up fighting. The news had reached the commandos that Hitler had been killed, and the Soldier Supreme went after Dormammu Red. So again, the combination of a Dormammu, the evil villain guy, the evil planet-looking thing in Doctor Strange, and the Red Skull, as everyone knows, is Captain America's major villain, which was one of the most treacherous leaders of the Nazi regime. He knew that without him gone, the Allies would have no victory. So without having rid of the evil guy, rid of Dormammu Red, there would be no victory for the Allies. When the two had finally crossed paths, Roger was overpowered and outgunned. Steve then summoned the Winter Soldier, who killed Dormammu Red in his final moments. So basically, in the final moments of Dormammu Red's life, he drags Steven into the dark dimension where he lied waiting for over 70 years. So instead of, say, like where Captain America crashed into the water, in this case, it's him being dragged off into a dimension and hope to God he gets released soon. Steven spent most of his time in the dark dimension, honing his magical skills and fighting demons and monsters. So Steve was accidentally set free by Mordock, Baron Mondo, and MODOK. So this giant monster thing with a big ass head. And as his followers tore open a portal, and they were trying to basically summon the devil. As many people know, that's not good. Do not summon the devil. MODOK fought the Soldier Supreme. During this fight, Rogers projected himself into MODOK's body, learning that there is two souls inside, not just one. One of MODOK and the other of Baron Mondo. So MODOK, I'm going to keep saying MODOK, but it's like MORD.OC. And then warned him that the world was ending, which he then gave to the Soldier Supreme the Eye of Agamotto, and encouraged the soldier to find the truth for himself before he faded away. So the guy disappeared. The Soldier Supreme then returned to London, where he was debriefed on the war, then returned basically back home to Brooklyn. Stephen took the eye and turned it inwards, revealing that he himself was a combination of Captain America and Doctor Strange. Rogers then found himself wondering what the implications of what he had found out would be when he called Emma Frost. When he heard the call from Emma Frost asking everyone to join her to help save reality. Adam Warlock had done that already, and then the team came together, which was known as Defenders of this world, but their world still existed within the Soul Stone, and hence the multiverse of that particular universe was born as well. So again, we could go through all this. I'm just going to pick three, and we can pick three from each, and then you can look up the rest as you were going. So the equipment that this guy carries, the cloak of levitation, so the red cloak that he carries with him, the Eye of Agamottir, and the Eye of Agamottin. So they kind of think of like the Eye of Agamotto. So so we're gonna call Sorcerer. He's got infinite longevity, and he's got energy blast. Basically, he can create anything but energies from his hands and destroy it. And then I'm actually going to include my list in the description because then you can kind of read it as well. Okay, so Captain America's powers: super soldier serum, enhanced in physiology, strength, speed, durability, stamina, all that stuff. Obviously, this was not put together well because I didn't know what to do. I had somebody assist me with the next one. And we're just going to skip over to the end here now. So that was the abilities, the powers, and a bit of the history of the Soldier Supreme. So now I invite you to go watch part 1. I say part 1. As his opponent is one familiar one to most people, your voices will be heard throughout the tournament. And basically, again, whoever wins, wins. Simple as that. My opinions don't really matter. So let the multiverse be your guide. Let it guide you and lead you to new and fun, exciting places. So we're going to check out day 2 tomorrow when we do Jessica Jones versus this little one right here. As she's known, Weapon Hex. The combination of Scarlet Witch and X-23. And so yeah. My name has been Rogue Convoy, and this has been Ultimate Mayhem. Round 1 of the tournament, the Soldier Supreme Edition.